Former Black Cap Chris Cairns set up a foundation to raise awareness for rail safety after his sister was tragically killed at a level crossing. Today, he's joined by accident victim Nicole Vroegen-Hill, and I'd like to welcome both of you to the show. Thanks so much. Great to see you again, Chris.
Good to be back.
But let's start with what happened to you. I mean, I read your... basically, you wrote a two-page summary for us. I mean, absolutely shocking. How long ago was it?
Coming up 8 years now.
8 years ago. And what happened? You were in the car with your mother and your sister? Yep. And whereabouts were you travelling?
I was going to my last day at school. I was getting a prize at prize giving.
And whereabouts in New Zealand was this?
This is down in Invercargill.
You came up to a level crossing. Was it one of those ones that had the arms that come down?
No, it's just one, sort of like a little hill, and then it's just a sign controlled.
Which means you basically have to stop.
Stop. Oh, at the time, I think it was a giveaway.
Look for a train.
Yeah.
So do you remember what happened?
No, not at all.
What were you told happened?
Sort of after I'd sort of recovered, I read the articles, and sort of it was just presumed that she had temporarily stopped, and yeah.
And accidentally.
Yeah.
Or moved. I mean, I read something that you think maybe she heard the train.
Yeah.
And it was too late, that she'd bunny hopped onto the track.
Well, no one really knows, because no one remembers anything.
Your mother was killed.
Yep.
Your sister survived with minor injuries, but you had some massive injuries. Tell me about what happened to you.
So I sustained a severe head injury, and during that period of time, my brain had sort of shut off the ability to walk and to temporarily talk, so I spent a few weeks just in a hospital bed.
Look at that, so you're in the intensive care unit. What your doctor has said something quite remarkable to you since then about your recovery. What did they say?
They're just quite impressed with the recovery I've made, and it's sort of like the one patient they get out of all the surgeries they do. So it's pretty awesome. And
you have just done remarkably well, because you were really athletic. You got right back into sports straight away. And what are you studying now?
I'm doing a Bachelor in Adventure Recreation and Outdoor Education. So it's just...
must be pretty cool.
It's definitely...
What are you planning to do with that degree once you're finished?
Sort of travel and sort of meet other cultures and sort of do what they do over there, and sort of hopefully help other children sort of overcome challenges.
Because you had to, because when you came out of your coma, you were pretty much, you had to start all over again, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't really know who I was, and sort of, and all the people that were my friends sort of stepped back a little bit, and everyone else wanted to be my friend, so it was really hard and difficult sort of fitting back into normal life when you don't really know who you are.
So, you know, because it's just hard for a lot of us to fathom what that must be like, to literally have lost your memory, not remember what happened. So what kind of rehabilitation did you get to get yourself back to where you are? Well,
I sort of just refused sort of help. I just stuck to my sport, and that's sort of the medium I chose to kind of get through everything, sort of just hard grit, you know.
That's incredible. So you just had that determination. How long did it take before you could walk properly again and do your sport and speak properly and remember things?
About a month and a half, so...
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
A pretty incredible recovery. One thing that you didn't talk about in the little, I suppose, you know, story you wrote for me was the fact that you actually lost your mum. How did you and your sister and your father cope with that?
I guess we just sort of, we couldn't exactly stop, and it was just something that life has to carry on, and we sort of just moved on. Like, we didn't forget it, but we just sort of rebuilt our lives. Yeah.
Chris, you know, hearing the story, and obviously you've met Nicole before, this must be an incredible frustration.
Yeah, I mean, for Nicole to come on and tell her story is A, very brave,
yeah,
and B, you know, from a foundation point of view, we thank her for, you know, for sharing, I suppose, her experience of something that is horrific and, you know, has affected too many New Zealanders in the past. So it's something which, you know, is constantly there. I mean, it's a difficult one, because in Nicole's situation, there are a lot of people see them every day with the barrier arms, with the bowels, but then there's hundreds and hundreds of level crossings in New Zealand that are like that, and there are also private level crossings as well. So people think that they know the time schedules, and there are a variety of other reasons why, but you know, we just keep hammering away with the fact that you know, this is a situation which, you know, people have control over, and we just try to get across to them just to, you know, I suppose the slogan we have is take a minute, not your life.
That's right. I mean, you know, I always like, and I think it's a lot thanks to what you've done. I always now, because I travel a lot, I always stop. I just stop, you know, and I look both ways really, really carefully. I mean, like you say, what did you say? Take, you know, 1 second.
It just takes an extra second, and you know, that just saves one family from, you know, a lifetime of, you know,
of what you've been through.
Yeah.
Has, like, statistically, has the work you've done over these last few years made any difference in New Zealand?
Look, it's tracking down, you know, but what's acceptable? You know, it has to be zero, exactly. And so one thing we try and do is that at the moment there's, I think it's tracking incident rate, which means no fatalities. So far this year there's been no fatality, level crossing wise, but whether that's good luck or, you know,
near misses.
Yeah, but this is the thing, it's the near misses which is the big thing, where people, there's been about 24 so far this year where the train may collide with a car and either bounces off, and you know, as I said, that's probably more good fortune, the fact that nobody has been killed. So that's something that we want to make sure tracks down. It's that incident rate. So.
And you are really sort of calling out for the train drivers to do something about this. Are they not obliged to report any near misses?
You know, they do, and you know, theirs is often an unsung story. It's something which, you know, for a lot of these guys, the loco engineers, they'll turn up to work wondering if they're going to kill anybody that day, and it's a work environment where you know, nobody should be subjected to that. So what we're trying to encourage this month is that we've gone around, actually Father Lance went around to a lot of the depots nationwide and spoke to the drivers and sort of got them behind this whole concept. There is something in place. The LEs have a report type form that they'll fill out, and it gets sent in, and we have a police person who's involved, Mark Stables, is the police representative who handles all of those reports that come in. So it's a big turning slow wheel, you know, and it's getting better. And getting the train drivers to call in and to make sure that we report everything. The public know that they're going to do it, and it is a prosecutable offence. So, you know, we want the motorists to be aware that there is that thing that's out there.
That's right. No, I mean, you've just got to, you know, be so on top of this. Now, this is obviously something very passionate for you, and, you know, you lost your sister, but you don't even live in New Zealand anymore. So how's it going? Because last time we saw you, you were sort of getting into the diamond business. You've recently been married.
Yes, I'm very busy, and 40.
And you hit 40, my goodness, it's all at once. So how's life for you?
Good,
personally?
Yeah, good. I'm currently residing in Dubai. I've been there for a couple of years. I come back probably twice a year, all foundation related. I met Nicole when I was back on my last trip, and we tried to work a way for her to be involved, and it's been great she's there. And so for me, because we have Rail Safety Week starting this week, so Australasian Rail Safety Week is the week that I always come back, and always will have that affinity, and you know, and doing that in memory of my sister. So that's my association to New Zealand, and you know, I suppose personal life-wise, I've moved into another area, as you say, with diamond trading. I work for a company up in Dubai, so I'm quite removed from New Zealand, but never am, if you know what I mean. So.
Oh, that's great. Look, it's really lovely to have you here. We always love having you on the show, and you're just doing such a good, you know, something for such a good cause. And Nicole, well done, and great to have you involved as well, because I think it's really important for people to see a face of someone who has been affected by something so tragic. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.